today you're a very established entrepreneur. You're very seasoned in business. You understand many different dynamics of markets and cycles and all sorts of stuff. I want to go back to the beginning of where you started, where you were born. You was telling me a bit about the story. I want to walk through where this kind of mindset developed, like your early years. Were your parents successful, not successful? Yeah. You know, what are the imprints that took you to this point?
So I was born in Eastern Germany, a city called Sebnitz. It's maybe 20 kilometers from Dresden. We had 6-7 years of socialism. Eastern Germany, we were ruled by Russia. I always loved sport. I always was an open person, talking, outgoing, speaking my thoughts. I was very restricted. I mean, there was no entrepreneurship. There was food shortages. Everything was limited. You would wait 20 years for a car, 10 years for a little motorcycle.
That's crazy.
You know, I started to play soccer when I was like 10. I was quite good. Then I shifted to become a track and field runner. This gave me the endurance and the discipline, like 13 to 19.
Right, okay. This is really important. What I love is getting to the root of where, for entrepreneurialism, where the desire starts. Because the podcast is called Deciding to Thrive.
Yeah.
Which means it's in a decision, which it is, right? When you're running track and field, I think is another thing. Is like you said, you develop the discipline and things like this. So do you think these are some of the things that shaped you for business? Or was there something you saw with friends that had, or was it a lack of having? Or I mean, like, of course, you're in Germany at this moment.
Yeah.
You're watching US movies, I suppose. Yeah. It's a different life. It's not just you, it's everybody, right?
No. There's always catch by from the dishwasher to the millionaire. Those underdog videos, the Rocky Balboas, all those movies. Those kind of influenced me in a positive way, saying, okay, eat whatever you want if you have the right mindset. This idea of that you can literally create everything in your life with a great mindset and you work hard for it. So this was the one thing, but the biggest shift with this was my first mentor. And I always say, mentors, if you don't have money, you find a mentor at the stationery store and buy your first book.
Hi guys, on this episode of Deciding to Thrive, I've been joined by serial entrepreneur Danilo Schmidt, who's just moved to Dubai a few years ago, has multiple businesses. One of them has done over $69 million in 1 year, a charter yacht company, multiple things, an incredible life story. Let's go and hear what he has to say. Hi Danilo. Thank you for joining us on Deciding to Thrive.
Hi, Dan.
I'm very excited and looking forward to this. So just at a top line right now, you are a serial entrepreneur. Your business is doing tens of millions of dollars a year. You've got multiple businesses. You're an investor. Tell me a little bit more about where you are right now and the things you're working on.
So I moved to Dubai 5 years ago. I'm a father. I have 2 kids, Leo and Bella, turning 5. They're 5 and 7 now. I started in e-commerce. But it was the first business that really picked up after a couple of pivots and pitfalls and falling and starting and re-engineering.
I want to go back to the beginning soon, but where are you now? Where was, like, of all the things you've got going on, give me the categories of what you've got right now, because you've got a few different businesses now.
So I have e-commerce, I have real estate, I have investments. One is a large investment into one of the world's first tactical augmented reality smart glasses for military and police. It's called Area 1. It's almost production ready. The company wants to change how policemen and defense and military personnel operate. So it's a head-up display integrated in a smart glass to essentially scan faces, have all the information that you need at the fingertip. You don't have to back to the car. You don't need body cams anymore. So super interesting startup, invested 3 years ago. We started a yacht charter business here in Dubai. We bought 1 yacht, used it privately, then created a company. It's operating nicely, producing passive income as what we usually looking for. It's not 100% passive because every business you have to run a little bit.
Maintenance,
I started to become a CEO influencer because I think that personal brands and getting the face of your business and the company is helpful. At the same time, I have some little mentoring that I started because as an entrepreneur, when you start from zero and you overcoming all those obstacles, you create a lot of experience and knowledge. And so people address you all the time. How did you do this? How did you do that? So for me, being in my early 40s now, turning 41 next week, I want to get back in a sense. And I also invest into another AI company that we bootstrapped the last 2 years. It's a spin-off of one of our businesses. It's called IDO. And IDO basically helps people who use Outlook or Gmail or inboxes to sell with people, have CRM integrations or not, to sell more in less time. Because we all know the biggest problem for entrepreneurs is not selling, it's the time when you don't sell. So we want to free up entrepreneurs and sales units to give them more time, because 60 to 70% of, we spoke about, right, the podcast, there's admin involved, but you don't want admin, right? So you want to reduce it as little as possible with AI, so you can handle more deals and more customers and never lose a deal again.
You know, it's something I was taught in one of my businesses is income producing activity. You have to spend time in income producing activity. There's a lot of waste time. So let me ask you, and I kind of have an idea, but you've got a lot going on. What's the most you've done in sales or in earnings in 1 year? Hi guys, sorry to interrupt the podcast. I'll literally be 1 minute, and I just want to say, firstly, thank you so much for tuning in and listening. It means the world to me and the team. We're working very hard and diligent behind the scenes to try and give you the best guests on this podcast. Just please take a minute to like and subscribe so you get notified when the next episode comes out, and we can keep connected and we can keep giving you loads and loads of value, and hopefully give us your comments and feedback so we can always continually improve. Thanks very much. Let's get back to the podcast.
So this was 2020 COVID. COVID hits, our businesses plummet, 13th of March, Friday 13th. It started as a bad day, but turned out to be a great success story. I come from a family business, from a family of doctors. Both my mom and dad are freelance, but moderate family. And when COVID hit, we had this big squeeze of supply and demand where China closed the borders in January. After 2 months, there was no medical supply available in Europe. And since we had an office in China for the last 10 years, we knew that China would reopen, and we received a lot of quotas and offers for mask and medical equipment. On the other hand, we had customers who had great demand for it. So we pivoted our business in 24 hours and starting to call our customers and all the hospitals in Germany. And within 90 days, we generated 50 million revenue.
Oh, wow.
PPE,
was it? Or
yeah,
was it all the
PPE.
Mask?
We did masks, we did gloves, we did coveralls, we did full cover, the doctor's equipment, like 10 different items. And for us, it was an all-in moment because we said, okay, our business plummets 80%. We have the capabilities. We didn't want it to just jump on the train, but we wanted to help because the European Union said every entrepreneur who has a capability to import and help to reduce the shortage, please help us because we didn't know what we're heading to. So this was crazy because in 2019, we did with our merchandising business like 16 million, and we went to 69 million this year. So we increased revenue 450%.
Wow.
Hopefully with good, obviously also with good profits because we didn't hire more people. And one thing was important for us.
That's a life-changing growth. It doesn't matter how successful you are when you have that kind of level of growth. It's
Yeah, and we had to go all in. My son was born in April, so it was right. COVID hit, and we started to go all in. We had to wire $5 million every dollar we had in cash to China because we had so many orders to fulfill. And then obviously we got also pre-financing for other customer that trusted us. And in this period, the biggest deal we closed, single deal, was 25 million.
Wow. Government or?
Government.
Yeah.
And I convinced them to pay 80% upfront.
Because I was going to say, in this moment, and I have other friends that were in a similar business, by the way, and did similar kind of income, similar pivots and everything. Exactly. Very similar story to you. But in this moment, you can dictate the price. You can dictate the terms because there wasn't enough capacity to get everything. Very few people actually had the chain to China, and it was just everything was getting sold out, was going straight away,
To getting the orders wasn't a problem. I always say money is the easy, but to deliver on the promises that you give, that's the hard part, right?
Course, yeah.
So you have to imagine we had 6 weeks to deliver, like a $25 million deal. I don't know, it was like 3.5 million masks and 40 million gloves and everything. And back at the time, the US had people and end of every single factory of us with cash in their bags.
Ah, it's crazy
and
time, huh?
and they tried to pay double the price.
Yeah.
And we had to find structures and ways to have people in those factories to sleep. We put GPS tracker in every car. We had a daily inspection. We had daily reports, daily shipments. There was nothing left in the factory, not a single second longer that we had, and we had to make sure that we deliver on the promise that we actually gave. And this was a big pivot, because also there was shortage in airplanes. So we had to find a way how to transport, because all the freight cargo companies were full. They could charge whatever price they wanted.
Yeah.
And maybe one last fun part to mention, besides the 20 airplanes that we had to charter, ghost flights and passenger flights and full cargo or empty planes because our goods weren't loaded, we created a price structure that even the small companies for 1,000 piece would get the price of 100,000 piece.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, because we saw the price spiral so negatively affecting all the small businesses that we said, okay, listen, you get the price till 100,000 piece, you get the same price of 50 piece, 100 piece, or 2,000 piece, because we didn't want them to suffer too much and to have a fair price model as what we could give on a profit margin calculation.
Something I learned a long time ago, I'm sure you've heard this, is the more value you add to the marketplace, the more the marketplace will pay you. And I think, and in business, I think we earn money from solving problems, and it's very nice to see it as well that you have an ethical approach, and you wanted, you're thinking, how do you solve the problems for the small guys? Because then you buy lots of people's loyalty in this.
100%.
This is
and this is why they trusted it, because getting the shipments almost on time was literally impossible. But 98% we accomplished this, and it was a big of falling, losing everything. And then you're back on track. It was like, okay, this is a yes or yes situation. There's non-negotiable to lose. It's, it's yes, find a way, yes or yes. It's like you wake up 6 a.m. in the morning, you go midnight to bed. It's 18 hours, 90 days, and you sprint through it. It's like,
do you think like things like this, when you go in these moments and you see the opportunity to pivot, and you have to go through so much like high stakes in a way, big money, big problems, do you think it develops you as a business person in terms of what you can handle and like your...
Oh, absolutely. It's transitional. Every great wealth in history has been created most of the times in crisis. .com crisis, 2007, 2008, Facebook arises out of a big subprime crisis. 13, 14 with a black swan event. I think those cycles come like every 7 years, more or less. They come in and out, and these are moments where people go all in. They see chances, they grab opportunity, and it literally 10 or 100x you in a way where afterwards you are at a place when you took the chance that you would never expect to be there.
Today you're a very established entrepreneur. You're very seasoned in business. You understand many different dynamics of markets and cycles and all sorts of stuff. I want to go back to the beginning of where you started, where you were born. You was telling me a bit about the story, the origin story, but I want to walk through where this kind of mindset developed, like your early years, were your parents successful, not successful? What are the imprints that took you to this point?
So
let's start where you were born and,
So I was born in Eastern Germany, a city called Sebnitz. It's maybe 20 kilometers from Dresden. And to give you a locational base, Dresden is 200 kilometers south of Berlin and 150 kilometers close of Prague. So it's a Czech border. Back at the time, I was born in 1984. We had 6-7 years of socialism. Eastern Germany, we were ruled by Russia. And my parents were quite good in school, so they qualified they would be considered as the elites, but intellectual elites, so they were able to go to Russia to study there.
Okay.
So everyone with good notes and, good A's and B's, whatever, and they qualified to go to Russia. So they met there, they studied medicine. So I was born in Sebnitz. Then after 2 weeks, I went to St. Petersburg for the next 2 to 3 years. Came back to Eastern Germany when I was 4. I always loved sport. I always was an open person, talking, outgoing, speaking my thoughts. As you say, I think in English. And then we
But even in Russia and Germany in those years was quite like a discipline that was quite restricted, no?
It was very restricted. I mean, there was no entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
There was food shortages. There was everything was limited. You would wait 20 years for a car. Like
Really,
it's not like you go to a dealer, you get a car. You had been waiting 20 years or 10 years for a little motorcycle.
That's crazy.
And so coming out of this time, I had a good childhood. Nevertheless, if you're 6 or 7, you really don't see this socialism part because, we went out to hide and seek and rebel and you were out after school. We went out.
Yeah. You have
Kids.
brothers and sisters, or
I have a brother, 9 years younger. And then after unification in '89, we moved to Western Germany. My parents get a promotion in a hospital, in a local hospital. I started to play soccer when I was like 10. I was quite good. Then I shifted to become a track and field runner, 480 meter. This gave me the endurance and the discipline to train to like daily over a year with the ambition to become like state champion or like German champion, and then one day to go Olympics.
How old were you at this point?
I stopped my career when I was 19, so I was like 13 to 19.
Right. Okay.
And 13 was also the day or the year where I created this defense. Okay, one day I want to have a Porsche. One day I want to be a millionaire, because it was just, for me, it was, if you see the movies and, the lawyers talking in front of the grand jury and, convincing them. That was me. Like, I wanted to be a lawyer, and then I wanted to be a doctor. So I studied Latin, but it was just the kids thing, because you monkey see, monkey do, right? You see your parents, you think maybe you become a doctor or whatever.
I want to ask you that, because this is really important. What I love is getting to the root of where, for entrepreneurialism, where the desire starts. Because the podcast is called Deciding to Thrive, which means it's in a decision, which it is, right? And like you say, that was when I decided I want to have money, I want to have a Porsche, right? I want to have these things. And you start to create a vision. So you say it's from the movies. Is that like... So I go back to parents as well, right? So your parents were employees, correct?
They were employees till, I think it was around 1990, 2000s.
Well,
they became self-employed, and they opened their own
business. But you were
practice.
But in this moment you were a bit older at this point. So you were younger when you first decided about the Porsche and things. And when you're running track and field, I think is another thing as well. And I know your kids are into sports and competing, which I think it's good. Like you said, you developed the discipline and things like this. So I'm assuming you had a coach or something in within the sports that taught you, like you have to train every day or something like this. Do you think these are some of the things that shaped you for business? And was it the movies that had the biggest impact on you, or was there something you saw with friends that had, or was it a lack of having? Or I mean, like, of course you're in Germany at this moment. You're watching You're watching US movies, I suppose. It's a different life. It's not just you; it's everybody, right?
That's. I was always catched by the from the dishwasher to the millionaire. Those underdog videos, the Rocky Balboas, all those movies. I think those kind of influenced me in a positive way, saying, okay, you can achieve whatever you want if you have the right mindset. I was good in sales always, because I was good in convincing. Let me give you an example. So when I was in writing, I was never good, because I think I have this topic that I sometimes read things.
Dyslexia, is it?
Dyslexia or something. For me, it's a strength, because I don't care. This is how I learned 4 or 5 languages. But it's just by speaking, making mistakes. It's part of the game. You grow by making mistakes. Same in business. So I never feared about causing issues or trouble, or speaking wrong. And this idea of that you can literally create everything in your life with a great mindset, and you work hard for it, and seeing your parents. Then you start to train every single day. You have one goal. If you don't compete this single day in a year, the opportunity is gone. So there's a lot of pressure on you that you build your character towards it. And then my parents also divorced, and it was a time that I had a great childhood. Nevertheless, I always had this problem or this challenge with my father going on, that I did not get the love that I deserved at the time, which created like a little trauma for me, or a black spot where sometimes I talk about it, sometimes I don't. It all depends on the communication, that I didn't feel enough. And I wanted to prove him in the first way that
How old were you
I
when
can
this
be
happened?
strong. I think it was like 14, 15, 16, this transition,
Right.
either in school or in sport. Could you be?
Is that how old you were
Why
when you
didn't
got
you win?
divorced?
Could you be faster? So it was the wrong words for the wrong person for the young childhood. At the same time, it was the right words to become the person who I am today.
Yes.
So I'm grateful for this and thank you for this.
Yeah.
And I love him. Because it showed me that since I started to prove him something and accelerated to prove the world who I am, to
Yes.
finally prove myself who I am, to finally accept I don't have to prove anything, not even myself who I am.
Yes,
I
yeah.
am
Yeah,
who
yeah.
I am, and I am good, and I'm worthy, I'm enough, I'm abundant. So this old shift goes, you level
way
up,
through,
you
yeah.
increase your energy. So this was the one thing, but the biggest shift with this was my first mentor. And I always say, mentors, if you don't have money, you find a mentor at the stationery store and buy your first book.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is how
yeah,
you get
yeah.
your first mentor, right? For
Yeah.
$9.99 or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. Yeah.
But I started as an insurance broker when I was 16.
Okay.
I went to at the train station, I put up a nice suit, I take a book, looked at people, and I said, "Excuse me, I just, I like your smile. May I ask you a question? What do you do for a living?" Same as a guy as like in School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
And funnily, those guys who smiled back were always open.
Right.
So you never talk to strangers, and when you
Yeah.
talk to strangers, better make sure they laugh.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So this is the good opener, and he gifted me one book, Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill. This was one of the cornerstones of thinking. Then Secret, Rhonda Byrne, Dr. Joseph Murphy, The Power of Subconscious Mind, and How to Influence People, Dale Carnegie. So books became a big part of mine. Then my big dream was always to come to Olympics. I was like 17, 18, 19, running 800 meters. But my injuries stopped me, which caused a moment where I said, okay, what I'm going to do now? I'm 19, I'm doing my A-levels or my high school, I think. I want to go to college now. So I said, okay, let's learn something that will help you later, which was entrepreneurship business. And then something strange happened. I was 19. I got the Harvard Business Review, first time in my hand. And it said the top 100 most influential people in the world, almost, who went to Harvard and studied there. I said, well, if all those guys who created all those nice businesses went to Harvard, okay, I have to find a way how to go to Harvard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And literally, this is a 20-year story of a dream to finally make a plan. Okay, I'm going to create a business. I'm going to study. I'm going to create a business. It should be successful, so people know me or I get renowned, and I build something that I can have a legacy, or how you call it, like a bucket, something, a golden nugget in my hand.
Yeah.
That then I can use to go on Harvard and do my MBA, or have someone who runs my company, a CEO or a co-founder or whatever, so I can actually go there and do my MBA or study in Harvard. And finally, how life, falls into part. 2 years ago, I started to join the Harvard OPM 64 program, which is the owner's president manager's degree. I think Patrick David also went there, which helped him a lot to scale and, the mindset, the knowledge, the people, the network, and ask all those questions that you need to go to not only next level, but the next levels. And it's like 3 years, 3 weeks consecutively on campus. The last term is going to be in March next year, and afterwards you join the Harvard alumni program,
yeah.
which is the only program of all that you become alumni.
Yeah.
And we all know that people don't fall when you have a good network. Right?
Yeah.
Network is
The network.
key,
Yeah.
is your net worth, and it's your kind of keystone. So yeah, and then started my university when I was 19 for 2 years. I traveled Europe. I finished in London. I went to Dublin Business School. It was a co-program with the University of London and Paris University. I've been in Barcelona, internships. So it was really nice. Started learning Spanish, international business, in English, like business language. And yeah, that's how
you evolved.
How we evolved.
You've covered a lot here, by the way. So you've got these ideas that you want to be in business. You saw obviously at Harvard as well. As you were traveling, you was working as a bartender in these times, or when you were in Barcelona, when you traveled Europe? Because as you come out of college, you went to university or not?
Yeah, so I did my bachelor degree.
Yeah.
I think it's called university or college from 19 to 22.
Yeah,
Bachelor.
university. I went to university, bachelor's, yeah. And and then moved to like your first job, your first exposure to work, to business, to whatever.
Yeah, this was really funny. So 2004, I started my university. I stopped in 2007. In those 3 years, I always worked as a bartender aside of university. My parents paid me the flat and some money, but at the end of the month, you need some money because,
So they supported you as you were traveling then?
Yeah, so that's quite usual in Germany. Your parents pay you the first university or for the first education.
So unusual in
but
the UK,
money was not enough. So I worked like 3 times a week.
Do you have student loans there as well? In the UK, we used to have student loans.
We have student loans. We have student
The
loans.
government like subsidised, you pay back
50%. Yeah. But I was fortunate that my parents could. I think the university fees are like €500 a month.
Okay, yeah.
Plus a flat. It was, minimum 50,000-60,000 over 3 years. But, I went to bars, worked at night, where you learn to serve people, to understand people, different languages, how you approach them. You learn a lot about society. You learn a lot
People
about
skills.
People, how they react. Are they kind, not kind? You always have a smile. It doesn't matter if you have a bad day. You get up, you talk, you smile. And this was always one reason why I basically met my baker. He supplied us with cakes every day for coffee and cakes. And at Christmas time, the head of division, how you call it, the bar, and the bar chef, he said, "Listen, you're gonna sell Christmas cakes now in front of the door to tourists." Like Dresden is a tourist city. We have the oldest Christmas market in Europe. Dresdner Stollen is like world known, brand of the century, super delicious, like selling to Japanese. And it was a nice business. We sold, I don't know, almost €4,000 in 3 days.
Right.
Good profit. Said, okay, I'm going to work my ass off here for €500 a month as a bartender. I make €4,000 in selling. So there was also another mindset shift of, okay, in sales lies a lot of profit. And if you can sell, you will always have a job in life.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. If you fall, if you lose everything, if you have the capability of being able to sell, you're good, you're covered. You have one of the best professions you can have.
Yeah. So you're selling all these cakes. So what happens then? What's your next step from there? So you decide to go off and
very
open
good question.
your
Yeah. So I had to do my bachelor thesis. I had 3 months off of university. It was in March 27. I go to the south of Germany to visit my mom. I write my thesis there, and we start with a friend. I started an agency for prize raffles. So basically, we rented cars. We made a raffle. One time of year, you can win a car. You sign the cards, you get the data, you get a cold call. Hey, you may win the car, but maybe you need a newspaper, or a GQ magazine, whatever. Yeah. And we sold this data. It was the first thing of how to get leads. It was offline leads. Now today it's online leads. So it's just interesting how things follow you. We started, he cheated me after 3 weeks because he gave me numbers that was wrong because one of friends counted them every day. So I stopped with him, and then my uncle approached me, the brother of my mom, and said, "Listen, it's a great business. Why don't we do it together? you started, it's working, and then we started. We bootstrapped the business. We asked my mom to lend us $6,000. We paid it back after 2 months to just create the limited, or PLC. I think in UK is a PLC.
Limited company.
Or limited, and but the minimum in Germany is 12. It's like an LLC in America, but you have to have some money back to cover the like 12.5 grand.
Right. Okay.
And you need to fill it up to 25K, and then it's your.
So you were doing this with your uncle, and your mum lent you the money, yeah? Did your mum support your entrepreneurialism from the beginning, or was she, because she's obviously had always been an employee, or she's an entrepreneur in this moment?
So in this moment, she's an entrepreneur already. She
Right,
created her own praxis and then moved to south of Germany. No, she supported me. She was very generous, always supporting
But also with
me.
mindset, I mean, did she tell you that yes, you should start a business, or like, see, for me?
So I was at the time that I truly believe that I can reach all my dreams in life, because I read sufficient books. I knew how to sell. I had this discipline and endurance and never give up mentality. Nothing is possible. I call myself I'm possible.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's just like, literally, you give me, every problem in the world you give me, I have an instant solution for it.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's coming from. Maybe it's my superpower. My gift is like, people, think about it and get headaches, but it's like, oh, it's easy, let's do this. Like, at least I have a thing to walk on. And then, if it doesn't work, you figure it out, you attract. But this was always with me. So she supported me. I think she was happy that I was with him, because he was older, financially more educated. So would make a mix, you walk out and, you shout and, make sure it works. And this worked well with all ups and downs. We are a business partner now for 18 years.
Still business with your uncle, yeah? Nice, yeah.
And one of the core businesses, our biggest, still our biggest business. And we bootstrapped, no investors, nothing. We started from zero. When we started, there were great competitors. We overtook everybody in the German market. Position, I would say currently market leader, but in a highly fractured market, bloody red, crazy competition. We have like 4,000 companies doing exactly the same business as we do today. But this car raffle we did for a year. We had to pivot. It plummeted. It died. And then we started with Christmas cakes, selling and offline, then online. Then we started a mobile phone contract for students. We did it for 3 months, plummeted again because the issuer didn't keep up the commissions on it. And so it was like 3 years process of starting till we finally found out online, e-commerce, Christmas cakes, B2B, corporate branding, and then we started.
So your company now still does Christmas cakes?
Yeah, this is what we
to
started.
this day, yeah.
But still,
so I thought it's about branding
100
mainly. to who's usually like your main customers? What type of customers is it? Hotels or what?
Okay, name me a big UK brand. Any big business.
Any business.
Any.
Like HSBC, I don't know.
Okay, HSBC, for example. Yeah, we did Deutsche Bank, Commerzbank.
Yeah.
They buy those Christmas cakes.
Yeah.
We make a nice packaging, printed box, Commerzbank, Deutsche Bank, a wooden box, logo emboss, branded, paper, wrapping, wine, all customized.
Okay,
and we
like
ship
the
it to all the
hampers.
customers, to clients, say thank you, Merry
understood.
Christmas.
Okay,
This is how it started.
Yeah.
But it's a seasonal business.
Yeah.
So you start online, you crack the code of Google AdWords, online advertising.
But essentially, the Christmas cake thing came from the
baker
original
from the
time,
bar.
from when you were at the bar.
You never expected.
Yeah.
And you know what? My grandparents had 4 generations of bakers.
Really, yeah.
Only my parents skipped it. So I'm not a baker, but because we have a baker partner.
And you've built an empire from that, actually, in many different things. I'm guessing it's not your core business now. I mean, it might be the starting point. But
so the Christmas cakes do like €2 million, more or less, good profit. But it's integrated into our marketplace platform where we're selling swags, promotional products, corporate gifts, everything. Every business comes to us and says, I need a pen.
Yeah.
Or I have an exhibition. I need 20 items. Or I need a bespoke item that's not existing. This is a drawings. Can you make it? Can you produce it for us? Any metal, any product, any idea, we build it for you. From scratch, prototyping, 3D renderings, printings, mold, manufacturing, Asia, global shipment. We do more than $40 million, 60 people now, and serve more than 100,000 B2B customers. Like your shirt, for example, is a promotional product.
Yeah. Of course, yeah, exactly. I've got. We used to do exactly the same thing as one of my businesses. In terms of we were a client and we did and stuff. So I really want to get the key decision moments for all the stuff. So you've started a business now. You're with your uncle. Listen, there's a lot of decisions that shape who we are. I think that you're very lucky. I don't know if lucky is the right word, but you got exposure to books at a young age.
Yeah.
I definitely. Well, my first book that helped me in business was Rich Dad Poor Dad. I came to Think and Grow
Robert
Rich
Kiyosaki.
later.
Great book.
But I think definitely if you're open to these things and you come across these books and you want to take the value from it, there's a lot there. This really, your main business now, well, you have many different businesses, but your core business is the same business that is your original business, essentially.
Yeah.
You've never exited it. And so I think it's incredible.
Part of it, but in different ways. The joint ventures we created because we went all across Europe to 6-7 countries. A partner from Spain. We exited this division, rebranded the business in Germany because we wanted to have a global brand. Now it's called Brandable. Before it was like KSI Werbeartikel. Nobody would understand it in any other languages. And there was a lot of learning curve involved.
Well, let me ask you this. What are some of the biggest challenges that you've faced? Obviously, I imagine COVID could have been one of them. But what are some of the biggest challenges that you've faced that you feel were like real, like, life-changing moments when those decisions that you made and you did?
What were the biggest challenges we had? I would say one of the biggest challenges, you start a business, it works somehow, but you figure out it's not going to last. So you have to pivot the first time. And out of curiosity, you essentially start with one idea, but life is challenging you in many ways. Call it energy, kind of the universe, destiny. There's many different ways, God, whatever. And life is testing you, and through those tests, you find out your true character. Are you willing to suffer? Are you willing to proceed? Are you picking up the ball? How do you work with losses? So one of my philosophy is after a bad day, I go early to sleep.
Yeah. After a bad day. Yeah?
After a bad day. If I said, look, listen, it's not the right energy, it's not the right people, it's not the right day. Like everything the worst can happen, I go early to bed.
Yeah.
Because I know in the morning when I wake up, everything is going to be amazing. Everything's going to be fine. I will be fresh, smart. It helped me so a lot in many decisions. Just go to bed. Then it's 8. Don't kill yourself. Just go to bed. Get rid of it.
I do the same thing. So I can't make any more bad decisions because if it's a bad day, it's easy to make bad decisions. So I'm protecting me and everybody else.
Exactly. No, it's super healthy.
Yeah.
And then to build up the self-esteem and the trust in yourself, the faith that everything is gonna work out. There's a reason why things are happening. You just have to understand them. To learn the signs of the universe and the hints that it's giving you, because if you stay on certain tracks, you could vanish, right? But you have to evolve, you have to progress, you have to improve yourself. So this was one thing, especially the first 4 years, to have 4 businesses, starting, plummeting, pivoting, adapting. But everything that we learned there came into sequence. So I learned cold calling and selling Christmas cakes because I didn't have Google AdWords.
Yes.
I was working on the street as insurance broker. We started selling Christmas cakes offline, didn't work out. We started selling Christmas cakes online. It worked, but not as well. And then Google sent us a €50 flyer and says, start with Google advertising. I give you €50, you put €50 down. Suddenly, we don't have to cold call and have a conversion of 2% or 1 to 2%. Whereas we get 100 fresh leads that they have demand. We don't even call them leads. We call them opportunities in the CRM because they ask you for an offer. So it's like, maybe I saw your video and okay, no, he wants 500 Ps. That's the price. Give me an offer. let's see if we can do business together. So putting all those things together, e-commerce, how to close, cold calling. I did like 100,000 cold calls in my life. I know how hard it can be, but you learn with every single call. You stand up, you learn, you improve, you build your playbook, your sales playbook, and then you progress. Then advertising. And then it was a seasonal business. I said, oh my God, now we have an online business. We close 87% of our quotes. We do free visualization, free sampling, calls, we follow up. We are amazing. Our CRM was a magnet board where we had to write the deals and moved it from day to day to remember, right? Before technology was even available. And then comes the clue where I said, okay, listen, we go to promotional products now because this is what we do. We do custom, we do bespoke, and we have yearly business. And we have Google AdWords, and we know how to sell, and this is what we do. And all those things have to come aligned. You have to learn the things. So then life grants you with your life choice and your true path. And then stay in the path is one of the biggest things. It's another thing.
So what I'm understanding is you had like some goals to get, and then you achieve this goal, but then you find the next problem. Like you say, like we're having a good business, but now it's seasonal. So then, and how do we fix it? So there's a mindset in this of an approach. But I think that what I'm getting a lot from you is the confidence to try and to go after it. Like you say, not to be scared to fail, which I think is one of probably there's more people failing from being scared to start than actually trying and failing, if you like,
Amen to this. I always say I make problems. Not I make problems. I fail faster than my competitors. Learn from it. And improve. When you make decisions, make fast decisions. Anyhow, we all don't know the future. Tomorrow we're gonna know if the decision was right. But if you didn't move today, tomorrow you know nothing more, and you're gonna be behind. So take a bold move. Don't kill yourself. As the Wolf of Wall Street always said, fail elegantly. Especially if you start. Try to build two businesses at the same time. Your day-to-day job, then your business. See it's balancing. When one picks up and gets more than the other, then you move. Don't throw 50K just there and then and hope for good wishes, because it's gonna be tough. And you have to have the vision and the endurance to do something for 10 years. So the project you're falling into love in should not be a one night stand in a sense. You better love it for a long time, hate it and love it.
It's so funny, right? I do a lot of business coaching, and anything I do is not rocket science. It's just, number one, getting clarity, getting like a clear plan, and holding someone accountable to be consistent, because this is the biggest challenge. And when it's not working, we're in our head with a million different things. But if you have just one or two plans, like you say, if you just do this every day, you just keep moving, you just keep picking up, eventually, like you say, I think you said anything you can do for 5 years, it's gonna be successful.
Yeah, and it's not, and what you start is not going to be the thing you have in 5 years.
Of course it needs. Absolutely.
Right.
So tell me how. So you started the business. So when you relocated to Dubai, did you live anywhere else before Dubai, or it's just from there to Dubai? Because obviously there's a big gap from when you started the business, the challenges you've had, and then obviously then you've got married, had kids, and you've come to Dubai. So take me through that.
It's interesting. The number 13 is following me in my life. 13 are good days, 13 are, it can be trouble days, but pick up the medal, flip the coin around, you're going to see what life is gifting you. So I've been 13 years in business till 2020. We came to Dubai in December 20 after COVID. The German lockdown, the second lockdown, supposed to be from November 20 till May 2021. And we just came from vacation and said, listen, we have a boy. We had the hardest year of our life. I hardly slept. Everything was on attack mode, right? It's like, and this is all one thing. If you are all in, life is easier because you made a choice already. You cannot regret it. You just can make sure it works. It's different. It comes with confidence also. Once you're all in, right?
You're fearless.
We had this conversation with Mark where he said, and my other business partner said, maybe you slow down a little bit with all the purchase you do. Said, listen, we are already in. There is no slow down now. It doesn't mean if this doesn't work, it's gonna be a mess. So, but since we are in the flow, let's ride the wave and see where we're heading.
I've listened to a lot you've been saying, and the undertone of who you are, and I think this is very spiritual as well. Am I right in saying so?
I'm tending to become more and more and more spiritual.
And well, I mean, this is, I mean, in my personal journey, and I've got a few years, I'm 47, by the way, yeah. So my finding has been the more success I've had in business, the more spiritual I've become.
Yep.
And I've actually think it's strange. I think that you need to work hard to get the engine going to make the money, but I think you can make a lot more money later on, not necessarily pushing so hard.
No, that's where the hard smart card comes in, I think. Because people say you don't have to work harder, you have to work smarter.
Yeah.
Yes, hire a CEO who knows where you want to go, let him run the business, step back.
You make different decisions.
Different decisions, calmer decisions, sleep better.
Yeah,
it's not like, oh, we have to stop, No. But the speed of leader is the speed of the speed of the leader, the speed of the team.
Yeah. So do you think that, well, I'll come back to the spiritual side of it. Do you think that being all in, like from the spiritual universe kind of thing, the universe hears you and says, hey, these guys are all in, they're going to, we have to give it to them because they've decided that it's that or die.
So I follow two laws. One law is the law of attraction, and the other one is the law of resonance. And the law of resonance is much bigger. And I always describe it like this. If we take an atomic and we check what is consisting of the atomic, we have the electrons, the protons, and we have the neutrons. And when you ask physicians,
physicians,
they
in physics, people who study physics.
In mid-40s, they wanted to find out what is smaller than those elements, and they came up with photons. And that is a lot of things that people will say, that's not, it's impossible, it's possible, but on a micro level, a photon is a light particle, and it travels with 300,000 kilometers per second. So it spins the world 7.5x in 1 little second. So if we know that we are consisting of atomics and electronics and photons and protons, we quickly figure out that we are all existing kind of like of energy. And when it comes to the decision to say, okay, do you believe that your thoughts can stay in your brain when you know that you exist of photons that can travel 300,000 kilometers a second? Do we really believe this? Or is there so many coincidences and moments in life we see, I'm looking for a parking lot, I'm just thinking about it, or a car is going to exit and I'm going to find my perfect spot, but I never find one in Dubai Mall. Or here it is, right? Or someone called you that you haven't thought about and he has $1 million deal for you, right? Yeah. Is it really the thing? And then it comes with the law of attraction. So what we feel internally, what we have, the desires we have, are a precursor of the life we're going to have in the future. If we are willing to build the knowledge, the strengths, and the capabilities in order to go there.
Okay.
Which means if you have a dream and a wish today, eventually you're going to have it. Just put in the work. But it's not only thinking, because overthinking is under feeling. You have to feel it. Because you can Google it, the electromagnetic field of the heart is 5,000 times stronger than the brain. So if we wire our dreams and wishes, we write them down, we manifest them, we feel them, and we come into the stage of, there's different stages of waves and energy and alpha waves and beta waves and whatever, then you become what life is planning for you.
So let me, I mean, I have a lot of questions for you, by the way, but you've...
Sorry.
No, I'm just thinking there's a lot to go through. We go for a tangent, which is, I love this kind of topic. I'm very much aligned with how you think. Yeah. You're having success in business. Yeah. What takes you to study all this science and philosophical ways of, obviously you've got a very good brain for stats and numbers, and but I mean, in essence, what you're saying is the feeling and the belief in these laws of attraction, laws of resonance can help you achieve way more wealth than just doing the work. So where did you go from being a young guy, having this business with your uncle to studying this kind of thing?
So my journey started early with The Secret, Rhonda Byrne, The Law of Attraction, which I applied in many ways. I said, okay, I think positive, I want it, I get it. So, and I made those tries, like, okay, I want to get.
what happened in your life when you used this?
Yeah, so I want to have the parking lot, or I have this energy. For example, we had this one order where we had to go all in. It was early in the beginning it was World Championship 2010, and the customer orders €100,000 worth of mirror gloves, printed mirror gloves. It was the super trend for the football world champion, and he promised me to pay the day of delivery with a flash wire to the bank, and I said, listen, we're gonna deliver. It's gonna be on time, and then suddenly you have Iceland, the volcano.
Right, okay.
It erupted.
Yeah.
Airplanes couldn't go. We delayed. We didn't delay. We changed the airplane to Turkey, put them on trucks. We found a way. Terrible. But the day we promised, we delivered. And it's like those moments where you said, listen, we go to a bank account. You have $2.80 on a bank account. The Starbucks is right in front of you. You cannot even buy 2 Starbucks. And my uncle and me are looking at each other and said, what are we doing? He said, hey, Faith, we said it, we delivered, he guaranteed, boom. Half an hour later, $100,000, enter their account, the biggest order, first 6 digit. It's with everything we do. My wife and me, we did a vision board many years ago, right? If she lost it for 5 years, she put it out, we're living in Dubai now. When you go through it and you see, I got a house, I got a yacht, I got this, I got that, I got the kids, I have the boat, I did my marathon, I did this.
Wow, yeah.
It's, life is good. It doesn't come in the ways how you believe it and how you think it's gonna be. That's why you have to be open and receptive. And I generally think in good and bad energy. If your frequency is high enough, you attract the right people. And I cannot say it more loud and more clear.
Yeah.
If you have a fuck up heart, if you have bad times, if you have bad energy, this is what you get.
Yeah.
Even if you have desire of being something, you have to become the person in order to get it, to get there.
Yeah.
And same with growth of business. You had 1 million, 10 million, 100 million. You have to reverse engineer your goal by understanding who you have to become into a $100 million entrepreneur or a $10 million entrepreneur to then build this character, this person.
I think this is something that successful people see the end and reverse engineer, where normally we've been conditioned in society to go forward and, go to the college, go to the school, go to the college, get the job. So your business is doing good. So I think a lot changes when you come to Dubai. So I suppose that after you came around COVID time.
We sidetracked a little bit.
But
vacation. Never been here before.
Yeah. You just came for vacation, yeah?
And that was it. 5 months, all in for the property.
Wait, 1 second. When you first came, you booked for 5 months? Or
3 weeks.
You booked for 3 weeks and just extended? You said, we're not going to go back, we're just going to
extend. After 3 months, we bought a nice penthouse in Atlas Beach.
Yeah.
Was an amazing deal. Good price.
I'm right in saying that in this moment, you've just made a lot of money from the COVID, the PPE and everything. So life has changed anyway. Maybe you looking to maybe have a different life now that you've had a lot more money.
Become self-made millionaire.
It's
because everything was in the business before. We had a salary in 13 years. We never took $1 out of the business. Never.
So you're just really, in this moment, I suppose, although your business might be multi-million, you're just kind of, I don't say average life, but above average, maybe like me,
No, great life. I invested into properties because I always knew if I have someone renting a property for me, it pays itself off. But
you weren't living a luxury life, I'm guessing. It's only after this moment you then came to Dubai and said, we're going to go to a luxury.
If I would say, the dream life,
that
I was working for 30 years for, finally it happened.
Yeah.
But it happened overnight.
The universe got your residence in COVID.
Finally, it's all my effort.
Quite funny. It's a very similar happened to one of my best friends from school, funny enough. Very similar story, you know. So you come here, you bought a yacht.
Yep.
And then this is, I suppose, like a dream thing on your vision board, and then you turn it into a yacht to a charter company.
It was on the vision board of my wife, just because you put something in, and then you never know to believe in the beginning till you have it. But dream big, put it on if you want it, if you have it, write it down. Now, I had a couple of things differently. No, we invested into properties here. We exited a couple of units, which was quite beneficial because it was another great investment, especially 21. Everything
timing
was
amazing.
If you had something like Edwards Beach Resort, prices doubled, tripled in 18 to 24 months. So we exited properties, and then we rented so many yards that we said, listen, that's a nice business. You go by hour, 4 hours. It's a good revenue compared to Airbnb. Should be a higher yield. Why don't we give it a try? So seeked out to find one. Took me a year.
Yeah.
Hard process. I can write a doctor thesis now about how to buy a yard, not how to buy a yard, why to buy and not to buy, what is involved, what can go wrong.
Yeah.
It's one of the most painful processes I ever went through.
Really?
I love it,
Yeah.
but it's painful, and it doesn't always have to be painful. So at one stage you have to see, 3 years in the business now, is it profitable or not? Are you going to sell the business? You keep it. Just because people say it has to be hard, it's not always true.
Yeah.
Business does not have to be hard and, cornerstones in your way all the single time. And then, business should be smooth. But when you push hard, you break things.
I want to ask you, do you have a coach or a mentor now? No. And would you consider getting one, or do you like to do it just on your own way now? And have you had a mentor and business coach ever before?
I'm very fortunate. I have invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in my personal in me personally.
Yeah, personal growth.
Either Harvard. I went to different networks, different groups. We created. A friend of mine created a society where I'm founding member of Unicorn Society. I think you interviewed him.
Yeah, Michael,
too. So I went to many retreats and mentoring programs. I went to Patrick Bet-David. I went to Jordan Belfort. I went to,
Do you do things like that every year, or do you have a budget for that every year?
So,
allocation?
I think I have outgrown all of them now, in a sense, because I have the direct comparison of all the mentoring programs that are out at the market right now compared to what I get in Harvard.
Right, okay, yeah.
The tribe, the people.
Yeah.
I'm surrounded by 20, 30, maybe 40 billionaires who have businesses of sometimes 60,000 employees. Their startups, the ecosystem, the knowledge, the learning, the methodology, the content that we really get in Harvard and OPM is insane. Plus, a friend of mine just said it. We started as strangers, we became friends, and now we're family.
Yeah.
And now across the globe, where we want to go, you have one number, you call, and it's like, it sounds profound, but it's amazing. It's more my time that I want to give back and create something myself in this space. But I think there's a lot of knowledge because I'm a problem solver by heart. It's my second big gift because I find problems quite easily. Every technical, we release new products. I said there's a bug. Boom! I don't even have it. It just flows. It flows to me. But I'm really good in creating businesses out of it.
Got you.
Or breaking down walls of people where they don't see it. That's more the case for me now.
And
but it's the best you can do. You have read books, get a mentor. Go to those programs, get a coach like you because you don't see what you don't know and you don't see what you don't see.
You know what I find? It's very interesting as well that, and in my own personal experience, when I've had a coach, and I like having a coach, was even in fitness, and I can relate it to fitness as well.
Oh, I have a coach. Okay, in fitness I know you have a coach. I don't have a six-pack yet.
But this is what's interesting, and I find it even with the coaches in fitness. Look, for me, there's a big similarity. I think you can always compare for fitness. Like you said, you started off as being an athlete and competing, and this competitive mindset of being disciplined, of endurance, of everything shapes you in life and business, right? And the same thing's true, but when you have a coach, I think, and I've been fortunate enough to have mentors and coaches that are billionaires, that are worth hundreds of millions, that give me advice, and I relate to it in fitness, okay? When they when your problem, I'm making the numbers up, is to get from 5 million to 10 million or from 10 million to 30 million, and they're doing 500 million, your 10 to 20 million is so small for them that when they tell you and it feels so simple, it even makes you feel like it's simple. And it's like in the gym, to do the weight is so easy for that person, right? But for you it's different. But they make it look so simple. It's like, okay, it's not as big as what you think it is. Because the step in comparison is only this big. For you, it's this big, right? But they make it like, oh yeah, just do this. And they can give you, because they're doing it all the time. And so it becomes easier. That's been my experience. And I think there's always a value in that. And like you said, it doesn't have to be so difficult. And I found whenever I'm working closely with a mentor or coach, I go further faster just because of things like this,
100%. Every book you read, it gives you the what.
Yeah.
Coaches can give you a good why and half a how.
Yeah.
But they have their own interest also.
Yeah.
But genuine mentors,
yeah,
they give you the true how, and they name it the consequences.
I like how you differentiate between coaches and mentors, by the way. It's a very good thing.
Because as a mentor, you could be paid, but it's generally not the case. But maybe you do something in as a trade
relationship.
But
yeah.
Essentially, a mentor doesn't gain.
Well,
if you change.
Maybe I kind of agree. For me, a mentor, I was just taught this a long time ago. The difference between a coach and a mentor. So you compare a coach, maybe they've achieved what you. So if you take like a Mike Tyson, the boxer Mike Tyson, right? His coach had never been world champion.
No.
But he's a coach. He's a great coach, and you can get some coaches are good, some coaches are not good. Yeah. A mentor is somebody that's has gone where you want to go. 100%. So they've actually walked the path. So like for me, if I wanted to be a heavyweight boxer and Mike Tyson's going to coach me, then he's my mentor because he's become the champion already. So he understands the journey. So in business, like today, unfortunately, the coaching industry is an industry. You can go and buy a certificate or do some course, and you've got nothing. You've not achieved really anything in life, but you have the certificate. Yeah,
exactly. This is why the coaching environment is changing towards entrepreneurs building something, going into coaching.
Yes.
To delivering great value.
Value, exactly, because they've been there. Yeah.
Rather than building a coaching business that also can become a 20, 50 billion, $100 million company. But I truly see the same. Invest in yourself is the best thing you can do. Think bigger than you can dream of, because we always overestimate what we can do in 1 year and underestimate what we can in 10 years. It's a really great phase. And on the other hand, dream big, fight for it. Because in the mentoring, even you said 10 to 20 million for them is easy, but for making the work to achieve this, a lot of stones have to be, put in front of you that you can actually cross the river. It's like stairs in life, and every step, the 10 centimeter, is a new. You have a new ceiling. It's a new challenge. You have different. You cannot do the same thing as you did before, in order to progress and grow.
To get to the next level, it requires a different level.
Every stage, it's like in the beginning you get 10 people, and everybody's a generalist. Now you start alone, then you get 10 people. And from the 10 people, you get maybe to 30, and then you essentially change the generalist to here and there specialist, and later with 50 to 100 people, you have specialists only, but then you need managers to run them. So who's controlling the managers? Your role changes all the time. Now
let me just explain. What you've just explained there in 30 seconds is gold to an entrepreneur that's doing 1 to 2 million, 5 million a year. 100%. Right? Because how you've just defined it as you've got generalists, he's just thinking, I'm getting people I can trust. Or I believe in, right?
I hope it doesn't work. But you have to clean the tables, but you also have to do sales.
You see, because now this is what I'm saying to you. For you, you've just gone through something which is really taking a business to $30-40 million, right? Because the first $5 million, 0 to 5 million, is generalists. Rarely is it specialists. Yeah. Right, and if you even understood, if someone could lay ahead that journey for somebody to understand, this is the phase you're in right now, and this is how you make that phase good.
Yeah.
It's a short conversation for someone that knows, but for someone that doesn't have a mentor, they're in their head with all the problems. Oh, this guy told me he'd do this, and they don't even understand where they're in.
True.
Yeah, but you can see, it's nothing. This is the phase of the business. Yeah, and then this is all exactly what I mean, because for you now, that level, it's like if you go into a startup tomorrow, you're already it's calm. Even if you're working hard, you understand, hey, I'm in a startup. I understood this is where we are.
Yeah.
I understand the phase I'm going through. This is always the phase in every business.
Take it easy. That is normal. Tomorrow life looks different.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's have a beer.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay. So I want to go into some other areas, because I also noticed now we spoke about, like, now you have a coach in fitness as well. I know you're into longevity. Yeah. So I was taught, and I believe, how we do something is how we do everything. And we live by our standards. And someone asked me today, actually, they asked me, is it important, do I think, for an entrepreneur to be fit, to be like, now, you can make money in many different ways, but I think if you make a decision to be fit, it's a starting point. It's a starting point for everything to raise as a standard. So I want to get your take on it, because I know you and your wife, you work out together. You take fitness and health seriously. You make sure your kids are physically fit. So walk me through, like, what you think about your philosophy on fitness and how it translates into life and business.
Let me reply to this but I will take a second. I personally believe the most important person in your life is you.
Yeah.
Society tells us the most important thing in your life is your kids.
Yeah.
I fully disagree with it. I love my kids, but I disagree with it. Why is it? If I'm the most important person in my life, I have the responsibility to live as I want to survive, right? Darwinism. I want to survive as long as possible, so I have to be healthy.
Yeah.
Only if I take care for myself, which means eat clean, sport, people die of all the reasons, diabetes, heart attack, whatever. But generally, if you do sport,
you should be,
not Olympic stuff, you can't get injured. It's good. So if you take care for yourself and your health, I think it is the fundamental basis. But we all entrepreneurs, we do it wrong. 99.999%, and there's a reason for it. There's a time for it. Then we are settled. Because then, if you can take care for yourself and your health, you can actually build something, create a business, and be there for someone else. Because if you don't get your shit together as a man today, you cannot be a general provider for your family. So take care for yourself and your fitness and your health. Then take care for your family, and then take care for your business. Because you cannot, we do charity, we do a lot of things, but all those things come in a sequence of healthy family with ups and downs. Work on it, work in the business, work on your body, keep working, keep progressing, train together, and then it works. I think society told us kids are the most important thing, then comes the family, and then, maybe the business and the family. But I think this is it's an upside down pyramid, and it's nice because we're in Dubai. If you spin it around, what happens if you are not the top, you go down, you're almost underwater, under sand.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a relation with your partner, it's impossible that you can sustain a life, because eventually you're gonna divorce or you're gonna split up. Eventually your kids may suffer. So there's a lot of eventual and maybe. So it's better to care for you and your relation, have date nights, go out, live healthy, train together, create hobbies. We usually every 1 or 2 years we create new hobbies together. It just comes. We just started paddling. You started with golfing. We started with diving. We went into gym. We went into flight boarding. We went into paddle. It's just that you build something new together. So it's like winter. It's like seasons, right? Winter, summer. And this is why I generally believe that health is crucial. And I would love to know how successful I could have been if I would not stop my career in athletics due to health issues, and I would do more sport and
You feel like
have
you would
a
have been
different-
more successful?
I think so.
Yeah, I think
think so.
that a few things. I mean, look, I'm fortunate enough that all of my friends, not what I say all, most of my friends are very successful. So I like you in a community of people, like you said, from this Harvard, and that you call them friends and family, and you get to learn other people's. And I'm always learning. I like to hear. Love people. I love to hear their journeys. But all of us are successful people. We always believe we could be even more successful, even if we're having a dream life. There's always another level we could be. But I think definitely that sports enhances that. I think that, and I see how you went away recently and you build quality time with your wife as well. You do a lot. I think, and the best thing we can do for our kids is not to talk to them about how to be in a loving relationship, but to show them by a good example.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? This is
Monkey see, monkey do. Kids follow.
Yeah, that's exactly it, right?
Yeah.
And I think that you're right. I think that we've been taught sometimes, and even you spoke about the business because you said should be you, then family, then a business. What's interesting is as well, many people start a business to have success and provide for their family, but then the business starts to run them because they don't know how to systemize and optimize it. And so what happens is they actually prioritize the business over the family. So I have clients now, super successful, by the way.
And then comes a crash.
Super successful, and they're telling me, Dan, I'm missing time with my kids, and in a few years they're leaving home.
Yeah.
But you've got millions already, but they haven't been able to pull themselves away from the business because their ego is attached to the business.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't understand how to systemize it. And so what happens, they believe, even though I've got millions, they believe if I make a mistake, if it goes wrong, I can lose it. And then in their head, they say, well, then if the family's going to suffer.
Yeah. How successful is a business if it's dependent from you?
Yeah. Well, this is like I said before, we go through levels, and it's not like, remember I told you,
No,
right?
no,
the more you can systemize,
but that's the end.
Yeah.
Every entrepreneur should have one end goal.
Yeah.
Have someone running your business.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can create a new one,
Yeah.
or join the fruits, because you want to have something that maybe something happens to you, can overlast you, so your family is taken care for.
Yeah.
Can be millions in a bank account, can be a trust, can be real estate or a business that's cash flow producing, and they can go to university and have a great time. And the other thing is why longevity in health is a big issue. We all have coping mechanisms, trauma we want to overcome, and we all have stress. And studies shown that if you train in the morning, where the cortisol level is the highest of the day, you cope with it. You kill the stress in the morning. So you're more relaxed at home, you're more relaxed in business, you're more in control. And the more you're in control and easy taking you are, the better decisions you make, because you do it out of clarity. And this is why longevity in thinking, and this is why we use saddle boards, nail boards. This is why we do breath workout. This is why we meditate, not regularly in a routine, because I live my life not by a strict rule of 100% discipline, but I live my life full in balance, because I choose to be in non-balance or in disbalance at a time where I have to grow and push. But I try to speak to my partner, well, and say, listen, now I'm building, but I'm going to come back. So I don't believe in this terrible correlation of balance and work-life balance. This is all bullshit for me. It's truly bullshit. It's balance. There's only one balance, and you choose to be in this balance or not. You build now, or you stay home. You are with family, or you go to the gym. This is your life, right? This is why I also don't associate me working. It's living. I'm fortunate to say it.
Where do you think you've got these? There's a lot of, we've not spoken so much business, right? When we've connected in the past, we don't really speak business, but there's a lot of your philosophies and a lot you teach, which is, or a lot you're talking about, which is everything I teach. Yeah.
Cool.
So it's very interesting.
See, frequency travels.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
This is why we
resonation, the law of
connected.
resonation. Yeah. So law of resonance. So where did you learn these philosophies from? Do you think that understanding all the things for longevity in your health, understanding, to put into business, understanding to prioritize yourself, because like you say, society doesn't teach us. So you've learned this separately, or you've discovered this for yourself separately.
They say in school, they teach you and then giving a lesson. But in life, you're giving a lesson and then you teach. Now, you know the frame?
Say one more time.
So
They give you the
in
lesson.
school,
Yeah.
they give you a lesson. No, they teach you, and then they give you a lesson.
Yeah.
And in life,
They give you the
no,
lesson.
in life, they teach you a lesson, then you are tested.
Right. Okay.
Like different.
Okay.
So a lot is experience of businesses and partnerships and betrayal and love and failing and winning and standing up, and then trying to reflect on yourself. It's I think it comes back to communication, transparency, especially also in your relation. Books, it's summary. I think it comes either you're open to this, that you want to not become the best person in your life. I just recently learned it for me, but to become your true self.
Yeah.
Because best is always pushing and hard and fighting, but your true self, who you really are,
Like the alignment.
no mask, you are in full abundance, and you're in full motion, in full control, sitting here enjoying it, rather than okay, what's next, what I'm supposed to do, like living in the present. Now it's pure meditation.
I think it's like an evolution of age and success combined. I think when as you mature. True. And you have all the experiences, but also I think when you have success, you have exposure. Listen, also when you have material things are nice for a short period, but you transcend these things even after a while. And the true winning of the game isn't more material things, and it's exactly that, the happiness in that. So I want to ask you, you've got two beautiful kids. If God forbid something bad happened today, what's one like big lesson one big thing that you would give them, like as a piece of advice that you if you could only leave one thing behind for them that you would give them as an advice with everything that you've learned and experienced?
Okay. First advice, I wrote a book, The All-In Principle. You cannot have it all, but we cut out the nut. You can have it all. Freedom, family, and fitness. I'm going to publish it soon. So my first advice is read my book.
Yeah.
Because I have been writing it for them.
Yes.
I wrote my story, my learnings, all my key takeaways, and I wanted to have them something that they can rely on. And if they have questions to me, it's not an AI, it's a physical book.
Yeah.
And through this, I can speak to them. Second, I just created my will and everything I have, not because I'm sick, but I want to be
prepared,
thinking ahead, so everything is settled for my family and my wife and my kids. Where I said, this is what I would love you to know. But generally, I truly wish them that when they are older, they will love books and find knowledge in books. Believe bigger than you would ever imagine about things are possible, because at one stage it becomes possible, but then do you fall in a big hole, or have big goals and bigger goals and even bigger goals, because bored life makes strange people and sometimes makes strange decisions, and learn the power of empathy in sales.
Hi guys, me again. This is the last time, I promise. Just another quick reminder, if you've got great value and you enjoyed this podcast, please click like and subscribe so we can notify you when the next episode comes out. Thanks very much. I had the good fortune to travel with Tony Robbins for a number of years, and there was a group of us, and we shared like what's the biggest learning. And one guy said it takes the same time to have $1 million idea as it does to have $100 million idea. Yeah, it's really how big is our thinking and belief in ourselves. Danilo, I've really enjoyed having you here today. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, Dan. Pleasure.